What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
OD
Podcast.
Podcast. Period. This episode is dedicated to April. Who else been asking?
What's up, April? I seen you on Twitter talking your stuff or whatever.
It'd be so funny. I always catch
Okay.
her tweets about the podcast. She don't never at us, and I still be seeing that. Mind you, I check Twitter for 30 seconds and then log out. So I hope tomorrow or today is a good drive to work. As you go out and fix all the teeth in the world. Oh my God! So one time, now this is something you probably seen on social media a million times, but like people that have that calculus build up on their teeth, have you seen that before?
Yeah, and they click it off. All you gotta do is get it off with a little thing. Pop it off.
Yeah, but some people's stuff be so caked up that they have to
It'd be
pressure
like
wash it
severe,
off.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
to be
for sure.
bleeding. So I know someone who gets that, and she said that she brushes regularly and all that. So I have to withhold my judgment now because the person that told me she looked normal like us. I'm like, oh, okay. So you're not like a homeless heroin addict, and that's no shade to homeless heroin addicts. I'm just saying, like, I thought that people who had
No,
stuff
that's
like that
normal.
had a
When I had braces,
disability.
that happened to me one time, and then after that I started, huh?
How long did it take for it to build up?
Um, it was about 6 months, and it was on one tooth.
Even with you brushing and stuff.
It was a braces. It was at my bottom, bro. The lady was like, because I told her, I was like, I went in because of that. And I'm like, what is that? I keep trying to get it off my tooth and it's not, and it looked crazy. You know how, like, when we was in elementary school and you would see people, it looked like they had chalk lines in their teeth, like buttery,
Yeah, because they
but
weren't
it looked
brushing
like,
them.
but see, I was brushing mine and it was just on that one tooth. So she was like, oh, that's calculus build, calculus buildup. And she was like, honestly, it just comes off. So she literally popped it and then she cleaned out my gums, never got it again. Now
And here
that
I
was
am
back in
thinking it was a
20,
college course.
exactly. But that happened back in 2013 though. But I haven't
I
had it
never
again
had
since
that,
then
but
because of her telling me that. I like I pressure wash my teeth. I literally use
me too,
a water
multiple
pick,
times a day.
a floss, or everything. Yeah.
I will say I have a mild confession. I hear an echo a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I did not always brush my teeth twice a day. I think I said that before. But once I got braces, I got the best dental habits. Even my Dr. Johnson, he be like, "Now your teeth look good." Oh, I know. I just come here
Mm-hmm.
for the routine cleaning so you can know. And I had to slow down on the coffee drinking too because I was getting a little staining. And so
I
I
just
had to
started
slow
back
down.
drinking coffee, but I've been getting cold brew because I like
If you
iced
can help
coffee.
it, just make sure you drink it with a straw. So at least if it's gonna be stained, it's gonna be the
Oh,
back of
for
the
sure.
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like iced coffee. Most of the time is with a straw because I don't the ice be shifting and it'll spill on
I
me.
could, yeah. I don't drink coffee nearly as much as I used to. Honestly, I drink coffee to curb my appetite, TBH. Because caffeine don't do nothing for me. But yeah, so the teeth thing is crazy. I got my last round of gingivectomy last Monday. So my gum contouring. I didn't have I had did 3 sections out of the 4. Then I had let my insurance restart, and so then I went back. So now I'm done. Technically I'm done.
Mm.
One of my teeth, I feel like the gums could be a little higher, but the problem with it is that that tooth is not shaped like the one that's like it on the other side. So I don't want to get them to raise it up higher and it end up looking crazy. So I rather just leave it as is because nobody can. It's not even really noticeable, to be honest with
Mm.
you. Yeah, it's like
I hate when I talk, you can't see my top row of teeth, so you never know what my teeth look like at the top. I hate that. So when I get my teeth done, I'm gonna make sure they're a little bit bigger. So when I,
what. Yeah, or I mean,
you know what
well,
I'm saying?
if you're not gonna do the braces right, I'm about to say you can have them bring your teeth down. But I get you. Okay, Steve
Mm.
Harvey.
Oh no, they're not gonna be that big.
Man, so let me tell you. Okay, so I told you about my job stressing me out. Y'all pray for me. I've been working 13, 12, 13, 14 hour days since like September. It hasn't changed. I have a lot on my plate. Not to harp on my job, but it's the hardest job I ever had. Number 2, I did find a new house. I'll be closing next week. Thank you so much. If y'all want to send me something, $1,000 minimum. Thank you so much. I'm gonna need it.
Oh my god.
I also want to shout out. I mentioned high yield savings accounts on this podcast before. A lot of my money that I'm using for this house is free money that I earned from my high yield savings account. I mean, literally thousands of dollars over the last several years that I've earned just by having money sitting in my high yield savings account that I'm buying towards my house, and that's a 1,000% fact. Also, I saw yesterday that Apple announced that they're coming out with a high yield savings account, and that makes me really happy because a lot of people didn't even know about HYSs or HYSAs, whatever. And so Apple, with it being such a household brand, more people will be inclined. Number one, more people will know about them. They'll start to utilize them. And number two, it'll put pressure on big banks to offer better interest rates on their savings accounts, in my opinion. So anyway,
Period.
period. And
Period.
then some. But yes, so
I'm,
let's get. Go ahead.
I've been. Well, I had let you know off air what my issues was. Outside of that, everything is great. I went to Vegas the other day. I drove there on Thursday for an event. So basically, what it was is an expo for Ulta. So all these brands, beauty brands, Fenty, Mac, all these people were basically trying to sell to different door numbers, like in different cities, because some stores have certain products, some don't. So these people were trying to sell them on, trying to put their product in the store. I worked with About Face. This is my second time working with them, and that's the singer Halsey's brand. And when I tell you, I left that event with so much free stuff because
That's a good
everybody
name for makeup. I'm surprised nobody thought of that before her.
About Face, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
love that. But since About Face is like such a popular brand when it comes to like color and just the type of products they carry, everybody was like coming over to barter with us because we were giving out free stuff to the people. But the people who work in the different booths, like from Fenty, they'll come over like, listen, I'll bring you this if you give me some of this. So we was like switching off. I have
Mm.
so much makeup, like high end makeup, skincare, hair care, everything. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was so happy that I drove because had I would have got on the plane, none of that
Oh,
stuff could
you
have
would have been
came.
paying for a check bag. Might as well went to the store and bought all this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I'm so happy that I drove. I put this stuff right in my trunk. But their drive was so nice. Like going there, I had to go to work. I had clients before I went there, so I was driving in the dark kinda. But coming back, I think I left Vegas at like 3 or 2:30, and that ride was really nice.
You
I
don't
will
have you
say,
drove it before?
no, that was my first time.
Oh,
That was my
okay.
first time. Yeah, so it wasn't that bad at all, honestly. What was so interesting was that as soon as you cross over the Nevada state line, it's like 25 minutes, you're in Vegas. I was like, dang, that's
That's
crazy.
yeah. When you think about where it is in a position, because LA is closer to the other side of the state than
Yeah, it's on the other. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I was driving through California, but I will say driving up and down those mountains ain't no joke. That is so scary, especially if you're a person that's like, I'm not necessarily scared of heights, but when it comes to stuff that I haven't really done before, and we don't have those type of mountains where we drive through in Georgia, we had them like, I think it's like Tennessee. If you like in Cobb County and you leaving out of Cobb, what's that right by Cobb, Tennessee? Or
Kennesaw, man. Oh yeah, Chattanooga.
when you going to Chattanooga, it is a mountain that you
That's
got to go around. That's kind of scary a little bit, but it's not nothing compared to what I had to do to go to Vegas.
okay. First of all, let me just say this: Tennessee is not by Cobb County, but I know exactly what you mean. Cause one
It's
day when
it's
I was
not
living in
far from
Mar
Cobb County
it's like
though.
an hour and some change. Cause one day I'm not even kidding y'all. I was at home. This when I was living in Marietta. I was like, it was like 2 o'clock. I said, I'm gonna go to Chattanooga. I drove myself by myself to Chattanooga and went to Ruby Falls and came back home in a few hours. I swear to God. But
Yeah.
it's just funny that you would say that because you know Gardner well, Cobb County.
Because
But
okay, so when
we
I
do have
had
Kennesaw Mountain, but you can't drive up there. I mean, you can drive up it, but it don't really take you nowhere.
listen, whatever that mountain is that you gotta go around to get to Tennessee, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like a
I don't
long
know.
little. It's funny because I know exactly what you're talking about, and you can go two different ways to get to Chattanooga, and one way is flat, and one way is
Yeah.
that. But that's funny. I'm dead that you're talking about what part about Cobb
Yes.
County. Okay.
But no, I also am proud of myself because this is probably the longest that I've been able to stick to a strict diet. Now, I didn't really plan it, but I don't know what happened. I woke up April 1st and says, you know what, I'm gonna eat healthy for the month of April because my birthday is coming up. I do want to drop a little bit of weight. I do feel like I've gained a little after the holiday, but
Mm-hmm.
since I've been consistent with my dieting this month, I'm definitely smaller than what I was during the holiday.
Period.
Way
I
smaller.
mean, it's okay to revert back a little bit. I mean, it's not, you know what I'm saying? As long as you don't go back,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
no, no.
as long as the
I
progress is good.
I just want to get to a size that I'm 100% comfortable with, and yeah. But I will say that this has been like the most consistent. Like I don't even think about it. Now I have eaten a little bit unhealthy, but even when I get drinks, I drink like tonic water and vodka and a little lime
Oh, okay.
squeeze.
I had zero. I had
Zero calories.
none vodka. I had non-alcoholic tequila the other
Non-alcoholic
day.
vodka. That's insane. I like. What is the point of that though?
Well, number one, there
Everything
are
serves
people
a
who.
purpose, but I don't know.
Yes. So first of all, my cousin Keita had it. I don't really know why she had it, but there are people out here who suffer from addiction, and sometimes they just want to be able to, get that old thing back without ruining their lives. So that. Number two, sometimes people it's the same reason why people drink decaf coffee. It's just a mind thing.
Yeah, my mama used to make me drink decaf coffee as a kid.
It still tastes well. Some people might say it don't, but anyway. So I tried the non alcoholic alcohol, and I will say it had that taste, but I hate the taste of alcohol, so it's not good for me. But the thing is, the reason why it has that taste is because of spices. Like it uses mesquite and some other stuff, so it definitely tingles your nose, like you just opened a spice cabinet, took all the lids off, and took a big inhale. So I don't really, I know some people love alcohol, they have it down to a science. Not for me, but I can see why people would just want to do it just, for the experience. Just like some people who vape and do all kinds of other stuff. So
Yeah,
anyway.
I use it. I literally only drink to like I don't recreationally drink. Like I won't sit in the house and drink. Maybe if I go out to dinner, I would have a cocktail.
Mhm.
Um, but I only drink to kind of like loosen up. Like if I'm going out and I have to be around a lot of people, I need to be loose, or else I'm
I
gonna
know
be
that's right.
not. You know.
Trying to get it loose. All right, so we need to get into the black business of the week.
Oh, per.
Who you
So
got?
me, I got while we're on the topic of food, I love coming across people who cook food that looks like something that I could recreate or a regular person can recreate.
Yeah, like a
Um,
quesadilla. I'm just
Something
playing.
like whatever, not necessarily
I'm just
easy.
playing.
I just like I try to find like people who cook things that I've never really had or something that's different for what I normally eat. And then I also the way that you do your videos is a very important for me too. So I would rather follow people who I feel like their house looks lived in. It doesn't look like
Like a
a
stage.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
I pay attention to stuff like that because realistically, y'all houses don't be looking like that all the time.
Mine do.
Now I get that. I clean up my apartment
Shoot.
every morning when I wake up. I
Mhm.
clean up, but also during the day, it just looks lived in, and I don't care. I like people that kind of
I
have
get what you're
like
saying.
that
You want
kind
some
of
relatable content. When you can tell it's staged, it's like, they lying.
yeah. Like I don't know. Sometimes it's still helpful, and I'll watch it, but it's just more digestible for me when it's something that I can relate to, or I feel like it's a real person. So it's this. I came across this girl. I think her name is Alex Hill. Let me look on her Instagram. Her Instagram name is just add hot sauce. Now she's not a chef. She's not a chef, but she just is creative in the kitchen and her food just be looking so good. Like she come up with like really interesting food combinations. Um what made me follow her specifically was because I had just bought some black mussels. I haven't made it yet, but I
Do the
got it in the fridge.
muscle like with Usher.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought some black mussels. She made like some chorizo mussels in a white wine garlic sauce.
Is
What would
chorizo
make me
meat?
do that? Chorizo is like a Mexican sausage, but you take it out of the casing. However, they do have soy. I don't know if you eat soy.
No, well, I don't like imitation stuff. I had to get off that.
So the soy chorizo tastes like the regular. I had it before from Whole Foods.
I know, but I don't
It's a,
like. I don't like stuff like
now.
that.
Now the problem that I have with imitation stuff and why I stopped eating it and just eat regular meat is because I don't like how I digest it. That's a
It,
problem with me.
yeah, that's impossible meat, beyond me. It makes me really sick because of that pea protein. But my mama raised me on imitation crab, and I don't know why, because we didn't have a reason. But it's
Oh my
crazy because
god.
it don't even taste the same. But I could actually eat it today because I'm just so I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah. But no, that's the one recipe that drew me in. I was like, oh my god, yes, I have to try that. And so I follow her. I literally just been going to her page and writing down grocery lists because I legit want to try pretty much everything on her page. She is a she's from the DMV. I think she's from DC, but she lives in LA. So a lot of this, she's yeah, a lot of her stuff that she's posted, like her spices and the stuff that she uses, also look kind of similar to the spices and the seasonings that I used to get from the Cavs farmers market that come in the little things.
I need to
So
go
I was
there.
like, "Oh, girl, thank you for that," because I need that. I needed to find some. I hate buying seasonings from the grocery store because they almost always are too salty. I threw away because I threw away a whole thing of Lawry's the other day because I put it on my food too salty. I threw it out. I do not like salty food.
It's actually good to get to a place in life. I mean, it sucks that you have to throw it away, but to get to a place where you can acknowledge it. My cousin, she literally will go to a place like Kava and be like, she could just taste the fakeness on the food, which to me is like fresh food.
Yeah, like now I actually can do that with like frozen. Like I don't like frozen vegetables. I'd rather get mine fresh. Unless I'm making something like fried rice or a soup or something. Then of course those that comes in handy. But her Instagram, once again, her Instagram is just add hot sauce with the underscore. Everything is spelled the correct way. Check her out. Um, She's actually nominated for an award, the Black Women in Food Award. So she,
Okay.
um, oh, I think she won the award. Actually, she was one of the things. I'm gonna send it to you. But I like her. I like her vibe. I like her. I like how she. I like her energy.
Speaking
Like the
of
way she
black
be
women
talking and stuff.
in food, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, Alex Hill, just add hot sauce, y'all. Follow my girl and check her out.
I'll put in episode notes. I just want to say, speaking of black women in food, but not really, why at this year in life I'm just now getting on Uncrustables? The rent was due when they made them. The, let Wait, you keep them in the fridge?
Yeah,
The packages say keep them in the freezer.
yeah,
You
and
know
then
what?
when you
The fridge is best though, because you got to sit there and wait.
yeah, you gotta wait till the frost. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you
People have
something.
been talking about me for the longest because I love Uncrustables, but I never say Uncrustables. I call them Crustables.
First of
When
all, they
I,
taste just like my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's how mine taste.
let me tell you something. It's something about that white bread.
Something
It's something about
about
that.
it.
It's so good. Like it's so. I literally take a whole box and put these in my travel. Like when I get on the plane, this is what I have for a snack.
The thing is, I'm gonna have to keep putting them in the freezer because I'm gonna just eat the whole box. Like Uncrustables is ice cream to me at this point.
So how you eat ice cream is how I eat these. Cause I
I
eat
get
three
it.
boxes of
Do you
these.
try the other flavors, the strawberry?
Yeah, this
The
is just
rent
what
was
I have
due.
left. This is what I have left. Like I've had 5 boxes in here.
That's what's
I
keeping the
love
lights on at
these.
Smuckers, baby. I know that for a fact. And you know
I
what's
even got the
crazy?
one with the Nutella. Did you get the one with the Nutella in
I
it?
haven't tried it yet, and I just started eating Nutella last year. I'm late to the game. Let me tell you
That
something.
one
So
fire.
when I worked at IKEA in college, mind you, we used to sell Uncrustables in the restaurant, and I never wanted to try them because it was cold, and I don't like my stuff cold. Cause my peanut butter be room temperature, my bread do be cold, but sometimes I let it sit out so it can be room temperature. So I just
Yeah,
never tried it, and I also thought it would be frozen. And it took over a decade, or how? Yeah, over a decade, because that was what 2012, for me to be like, oh, matter of fact, I worked at IKEA in like '09. It took
yeah.
me over 10 years to finally try Uncrustables, and I be doggone. I'm a believer. If the
Let
doctor
me tell you
tell
something.
me that I gotta stop eating Uncrustables or I'm gonna lose my arms and legs. Good thing I got my mouth, so I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it
No,
up.
Shout out to my
The
sister.
rent was due at Smucker's, baby.
My sister put me on because when I used to have to babysit my nieces and nephew, and she would leave them for them to eat. Like that would be their snacks, and
Uh-oh.
I would
Tell the
just sneak
family
one.
secrets.
I would sneak one. I'm like, oh my god! So
It's
the
the fact that I'm
trick,
gonna go to get the Nutella tonight before the store closed.
see, with the Nutella, you have to let that one sit outside of everything because it's really frozen. Like the Nutella
Okay.
part is frozen,
Yeah, that
so
makes
you have to
sense.
sit it out. Yeah. The
You know
trick is
what?
the fact they put peanut butter on both sides and then the jelly in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what's funny when I make my, you know why though? Because they use a lot of jelly. Because I don't put peanut butter on both sides on my sandwiches, but I also don't. I put an even. No, I put more jelly than peanut butter, but I don't like too much peanut butter because it be thick. But the way I make it, all I know is it turn out right every time. So Uncrustables, I ain't never gotta buy a loaf of bread ever again. Because the only reason when I buy a loaf of bread, I either am about to make French toast, peanut butter jelly sandwich, or some grilled cheese.
Oh my god!
And I don't need the first and the last one. We just want that PB and J, so I'm gonna just get the Uncrustables because they
They
already
need to
made. But
give us
you're
the endorsement.
no
Smuckers
for
hit
real,
out
and
hit the line for real.
they definitely about to be part of my travel snack pack. Now that you said that,
Oh yeah, I dumped these right in my tailfire bag,
the Uncrustable
baby.
bag. Oh, they need to do a
Okay.
collab with Telfar. I'm
I
gonna
dumped
get.
them right in there, and I get
Oh,
on
that's
that
cool,
plane.
baby. Smuckers, y'all got down with that one. Y'all
Any
got down.
flavor, any
Y'all might have
flavor.
fits racism with that one.
Okay, you say so too far.
Okay, all
Too
right.
far.
I got a couple topics to get in for this week's episode, make up for lost time. On the first order of business, we want to talk about people paying for blue checks on TikTok and Instagram. So, as we know in the past, people would get blue checks off of merit, like they were pretty much verified that they are a public figure by producing like proof that they've been talked about on public platforms. Some people would get it by default because of notoriety, and obviously, we know some people were paying for them the back doorway, like through them
Hmm.
fake pages. Now, starting with Twitter, they are charging people for blue checks even if they were already verified previously the free way. And obviously Instagram copied because they have never had an original thought in their entire life. Um Now I brought this up to Draco before recording, and he has a different opinion from me. But my opinion is, if you're not truly a public figure, I don't see the benefit of paying for a blue check, only because I know that you can now pay for a blue check. I think that before paying for it, I think it created some seriousness around your name. It made somebody be interested in knowing what you do and what you have to offer. But now that I know you got to pay for it, I'm less inclined to care because it's like, oh yeah, who ain't got $8? You know?
So, so here's the thing. Any person, unless you're like, some people at Instagram, or or people just know it's you have to go through your publicist or somebody like that to get a blue check on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
regardless, right?
Karen
So
Silver.
anybody,
Yeah.
this goes for any publicist because anybody is able to do that. But the thing about it is, it's overnight like that because they have to what pay money to do that. So I literally get asked all the time, why don't I have one, just because of my publication. So the thing about the blue check, you have to have certain requirements. So in my field, in order for me to get a blue check, I have to have my name, my first and last name, and I think I need like 4 or 5 magazine entries, like my work, and then I have to have a write up on a website, like from a magazine, and then I have to pay $4,000 for all this um to go through. If
It
I
was
don't
always
have,
$4,000.
yes, or whatever they want to
Beyonce
charge,
ain't pay that.
it's whatever the person who's helping you get it, what their fee is.
Okay.
It's their business. That's how they get. That's how they get paid. So it's whoever's doing it. And so the thing about it is, what they would do too, they would add on money. If they would have a list of different publications where you can pay for it. It'll be like $500 if you want InStyle magazine, $700 for Nylon, da 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 da. So you can
And
add
ever
on.
since you told me that, every time I see people be on them Forbes articles, I'm like, they paid for it.
That's with anything. If the paparazzi people pay them to come,
Mm-hmm.
everything is fake.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. I'm like, it is what it is. But honestly, when you work in those fields, or in the industry, that really helps people with, especially like business wise, with different companies. Now, you don't need it per se. You don't need it per se, right? But it does help with your business. It helps with your engagement. You get different tools that people don't have regularly. Now, I don't sell a product, so I don't need no extra tools or nothing like that. But I do plan on venturing out and doing other stuff. And then on top of that, I get people trying to buy my name all the time. It's people that now are spelling their name like mine, that are rappers and stuff like that.
You
And
need to trademark it.
I'm gonna verify that account for $14.99. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
And that's because if I was willing to pay 4,000, I might as well just pay the 14.
Yeah, but after a while, you don't pay 4,000 times 20. But I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying,
It's
and
like
I
one
also
twenty nine
feel
a
like
year.
you are somebody that should have a blue check. So I get that. But
Yeah.
it's the Joe Schmoes who just threw
That's why
my
I said I'm
box
not gonna
against my
do it
door.
until like June. I need all of this to like die down because it's annoying me. I don't care. Like I don't care. I'll get it tomorrow, but I just want all of this to die down and then just randomly you just see it. I don't want it to be a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think in your case makes perfect sense, but I don't. I guess I just don't like that it's available to everybody because I think that the verification helps people not have fake pages. It
Yeah.
identifies, because now people can buy a blue check and then make an impersonating page, pretending to be somebody. And now, I do like the fact that you can, you know, edit tweets on Twitter if you pay for it and all the other stuff, but I think that if you have a paid blue check versus like a merit blue check, I think that there should just be a different color, at least.
So the thing about the one on Instagram is that they're not giving everybody that feature. You have to be they're gonna obviously like do things to certify that this is really you
Mm-hmm.
that's doing the page. But like even for me, they had to like I requested it. Like when they dropped it, I requested it, and it took me about 2.5 weeks for them to approve that I can get the blue check. So I
If
don't
my page
know.
ever got hacked or deleted, catch me outside. How about that?
Say it says meta, you'll be meta verified, a verified badge with the thorough ID check, extra account security so you avoid impersonators, direct support that has access to live chat and account support, and more stickers for subscribers. That's what I'm
Okay,
doing.
well,
So yeah, blue check coming soon. Don't IDC. Moving on. Not you paying it.
no, I'm just I'm again. You are the exception, not the rule. Okay, I have a pet peeve I want to speak of. So, couple of weeks ago, I went to Cold Stone Creamery because I like ice cream, love ice cream actually, and there was a long line as a result of short staff. Okay, I'm not tripping. I understand that I'm a very patient person, especially when it comes to stuff like that. I used to work in retail. I spent some brief time in food service. All that is irrelevant, right? But this is just my thinking
Yeah.
process. Like, I'm not tripping. Now, if you come into any establishment, you see they're behind, you see they short staff, you know that you have to place a customized order. Why would you let your toddler place their own order? Great answer. Why
So
y'all
they
let y'all kids order their own food when it's people waiting in line? Matter of fact, I don't care if it ain't no line. They do not know the difference between non-dairy chocolate and chocolate chocolate. Right. And I'm all for allowing kids to make decisions to build their creativity so they can get to know the things they like. But I don't think it's the time to play. That's what you do when you at the grocery store and you see
That's
all
what
the
you do
different
when you
stuff.
in the line waiting. When people in front of you ask the
Exactly.
baby, what kind of ice cream do you want?
And I promise you, anytime I'm in line, I'm always considerate of how long the line is. So, well, first of all, I know I'm a little different because I could be a bit obsessive. So I already know what I want before I even get there. Like I already got it down pat. But I just think it's so inconsiderate to let a child place their own order and they don't even know how to spell their name. They think their name is 11.
Okay.
And that turns out that's how old their big brother is.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Like, please.
Anyways, yeah, so I just had to say that. Like I know I ain't no parent. I know people always say until you have kids, sweetheart, it's free to let that child shut up and wait till you get to what they want. Cause they knew you was you had to tell them they were going to Cold Stone.
Yeah, LA is like that. LA is in my opinion where Karen culture started, because the Karen culture out here is so heavy that black people are Karens to me out here. A lot of them.
Mm,
And
that's the worst
so
type. My own people.
one thing that I find common is, like, say if you go to a coffee shop, or if you go to um you know, coffee shops are a big thing out here. Coffee shops, boba, and donuts. I don't really do the donut thing because I'm true to Krispy Kreme, but I'll try like different coffee shops all the time, or like a juice bar. What I don't like about LA is that people, and granted, they're not necessarily doing nothing illegal or wrong, but I just think that it's personally inconsiderate, especially when it's like 7, 8 a.m. Obviously, people are getting coffee before they go to work or before they're doing something, so they're kind of in a rush. Why are you sitting there trying to have a whole conversation with the barista, asking them 17,000 questions about the menu?
Mm,
What do you
I hate
recommend?
that.
How does this taste? Do you think I could try a sample of this? Oh, no, I don't like that one. Can I try the other one?
I'm like,
You
are
see
you
what I'm
even
saying?
hungry for real? Yeah, I don't like that. And I do understand somebody genuinely being inquisitive because something might pique their interest. But there are some people who are consistently that way everywhere they go.
And
And
they
we have
move
enough
so
technology and
slow out here.
resources. Huh?
They move so slow with everything, and I be thinking something wrong with
That's
me.
crazy because people say that about Atlanta that they move slow.
They move like snails. Like the servers at
Mm-mm.
restaurants move so slow. The people walk on the streets kind of fast, but when it comes to like in a restaurant where you gotta, or a coffee shop, like I said, something like that, they're moving slow. Like
Oh,
it
brother. See,
takes
that's why
so
I like to order
long.
online too.
Me too. I honestly, I've just started really using Instacart because I can't stand in the grocery store line.
Not even the
They
grocery
take
store?
I can't do it. It be pissing me off. Like
Really?
when Zay was out here, he was like, "Am I tripping?" I said, "No." I say this all the time. Everybody just moves so
That made
slow.
me feel good because people always say we move slow down here. And I'd be like, do we?
No.
I be moving fast.
Even my friend who I'm with all the time, he's like, "Why do you walk so fast?"
My
I'm walking
neighbor,
at a
that's so
regular
funny.
pace.
My neighbor, she from St. Louis. She always say I walk before we go anywhere. She be like, "Look, please don't be out walking me. I can't help it. It's just in me." But it also come from not
Me
having a car as a
too.
kid. And when you got groceries that's melting and you need to get from the cold cut foods to Bars Road, you gonna learn how to walk fast.
It ain't even that. It's just I'm finna go wherever I'm going, and I want to get there.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I'm
just
walking
like what we taking time. What just go.
like
That's funny.
everything is so slow.
Mm.
Everything. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I
So
can't deal
yeah,
with
no.
the traffic backed up and they moving slow. That's music to my ears being down here. And you know what's so funny? Speaking of traffic, so whenever people talk about traffic in Atlanta, I always share how I never deal with traffic. I literally don't have a traffic, and so even when there is traffic, it's not a big deal. But the other day, I had to go from Marietta to McDonough, baby. The way
Oh no, that
75,
sounds like a
85.
disaster.
A disaster. Normally a 45-minute drive took me double the time. And I was like, okay, this is the traffic they be talking about. But the thing is, I avoid going through downtown, but like as much as I can, because I don't really ever have to unless I'm going to the airport. And even then, I mean, sometimes you can get away around it. But yeah, it just sucks because I'm like, well, thankfully where I live, I don't even have to get on the highway. Everything I want is at my access. But yeah, the traffic do suck out here, actually. And
It ain't worse than
that was
LA.
on a Saturday night.
I know it ain't worse than LA. LA will give you it'll take you an hour and 25 minutes to go 12 miles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That would drive me
it's
up the
bad.
wall. I can't imagine being long gas and stuck in traffic.
Yeah, that's why I smoke weed. Honestly. I'm not. If I can be totally honest, if I could be 100% honest, about 75% of the reason why I smoke weed is because of the traffic. There's no way that I can deal with that traffic with a sober mind. So
Where a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. Shout out to poor
I'm
minds.
not drunk now. No, I don't condone drunk driving, but
No,
I'll
I was
smoke.
just quoting a podcast. No, I don't condone drunk driving. I don't condone high driving either. Mess
Oh
around, be
well,
flying above traffic. Okay, so I want to talk about I had a main topic, but I want to get all these little topics off. So there was a video on TikTok that went viral, of course, like everything else does. Going viral ain't even nothing these days. Everybody don't went viral before. I don't
Mm.
have the link to the video, but basically there was a woman who received a wedding invitation to a wedding to someone that she considered her friend, but she did not get invited to the reception. And people were going in, calling the person broke and all this other stuff. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't see the problem. Truth be told. And now I don't understand the logic. I just don't think, as somebody who sets boundaries for everything that I can think of, I don't give a darn. So, number one, weddings are very expensive. Okay. Now, so it's easy to have a 100, 200, even 5,000 guest wedding and not have to feed all those people so you can have an intimate reception. So, let's say you just want your close family and friends, et cetera, et cetera. But unfortunately, people really want to come to weddings because they want to drink at the open bar and they want food. And a lot of times you don't even hear much from them throughout your marriage. They may not even contribute to the, to the quality of the relationship. And not that I know because I've been married, but because I know a lot of people who've been married and had weddings and did all this. And then a lot of people they just feel like they shouldn't have even invited. So I'm curious to know your thoughts. Maybe if someone had sent you that kind of invitation, like how would you feel, or how would you approach the situation?
Um, it depends on the person. So if this is somebody who like I met on set and we're not really friends, but we work together on about a few projects and they like me, I like them. They're like, hey, come to my wedding, but I don't have enough room for you at the reception because I have to take care of my immediate family and friends. I'm okay
Okay,
with that
that
because
that makes sense.
that's not somebody who I roll with all the time. Now this is if it's somebody who not even I won't even say like a close friend, like a best friend, but even somebody who just like I hang out with pretty often. We kick it, we spend birthdays together, holidays sometimes, whatever. Go on trips with each other. I take going on trips with people very personal, especially if you're still my friend after we come home.
And you see who
That's
I
very,
travel
you know what I'm
with?
saying?
Nobody.
So I take that real personal. Like, why would I not be invited to your reception,
Yeah, now I
weirdo?
can understand that because that if you have that kind of friendship, it's really about celebrating the moment. It's not about
Yeah.
what you can get out of the situation. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
So
I I
because if it was somebody who I don't really know like that, like for real, like we cool from like whatever, but I don't really know them like that. I'm coming for the food and drinks. I don't know nobody at your wedding, and I ain't trying to. Not for real. I mean, like if I meet some people, that's fine, but I'm just saying, like I wouldn't care about that. I wouldn't care about that. That's personal, but
yeah
it
I
depends on the person.
Yeah, and now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I do think that if you don't want them to share that full moment, maybe you shouldn't invite them. But I also respect people's rules because I do a lot of things that are for self-serving, and I could care less about what other people think about it. But I just sometimes I thought about this before. I think as women we think about our weddings a lot. A lot of us do, and I've thought about, I want a huge wedding, but I don't want to be paying $35 a head just to give somebody some
Yeah,
lobster tail and some mac and cheese. So
I feel
I thought
you.
about a cake and punch ceremony. I could have a wedding in between lunch and dinner. So y'all can get y'all behind up out of here and go eat with your family, but you can dance, have some cake and punch. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna do that, but I've been in broke relationships before, but I wanted to get married. And I thought about ways that I could make it work. I'm just being honest. So I've
Yeah.
thought about like having this big ceremony and then just having a reception for just my close friends and family, like maybe less than 50 people. But in reality, I want my reception to be lit. I care more about that than the doggone ceremonies. But again, at the end of the day, number one, I wouldn't be going on the internet about this because now you're not even coming to the wedding. Number two, I just
Yeah.
feel like if you know somebody well enough, or you should enough for them to invite you to their wedding, I think that you should I just think that you should just respect their wishes. I mean, if you feel away, you can express that, but what you gonna do about it? You gonna fight?
Yeah. I don't believe in making those type of videos for social media either though, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah, me
I've
either. I don't
definitely like
care.
made posts about people before, but honestly, I've grown out of that too.
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't.
erase people. I just erase people, move on. I be having real life stuff going on, and that's just wasting my energy.
It
So
is a
yeah, no.
waste. And then it's like, yeah, I agree with you. I think, well, obviously in this era, everything is content, number one. Number
Yeah.
two, I do think if you put something out there about somebody, you gotta be prepared for what's gonna come with it. And is that really worth it? Probably not. You
Mm-mm.
know? But sometimes people
Too
want the
much.
reactions. Some people literally be so obsessed with their ops that they talk about them all day long, which is very strange.
Yeah, I know people that probably do me like that, and I ain't even they op. I mean, they not my op. I don't look at it like that. I'm probably yours though. Why is
Yeah,
it that when people? Why is it that the people that do you wrong be mad at you, like you did them something?
I think
What
it
does that
be they
mean?
be in such shock that they got caught up in their own mess that they gotta do everything they can to survive the situation and deflect the issue off of them and onto you.
At the end of the day, you did what you did. You said what you said. Stand on it with
People
some
really
boots.
be dead wrong, and the lengths that they go to deny it be so weird to me. It's
Let me
like,
tell you something.
wow, you really gonna piss on my leg and tell me it's rain?
That's what I'm saying. And honestly, though, if I'm keeping it real, I be trying to do the right thing by letting Karma just do her thing, but she be taking too long
I
sometimes.
don't believe in
And I'm finna
karma.
put my shoes on.
I think
I
terrible
do.
people just live terrible lives, and they get people actually bad people have successful lives also. So they might not be happy deep down inside, but it might not be outwardly showing. I just believe that if they terrible, get rid of them, and then just hope the worst for them.
Okay.
I just I just feel like I don't think that every bad move comes with a bad experience for them. I think that some people just get away with stuff, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Bad things
Well,
happen to
I don't
good
eat
people all the
cookies no more
time.
because I'm on a diet. So keep them cookie crumbs away.
Okay.
We eat fruit over here. We eat mangoes and stuff like that.
Okay, you think that's healthier? You think they ain't got no sugar? It probably is healthier. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I've been
Anyways,
eating
all
nothing
right.
but grilled. I've been eating nothing but like sauteed and like grilled and air fried meat and green vegetables.
Ain't that so sweet?
Oh, girl, please.
Okay, question. Do you remember what your Yahoo Messenger name was or your AOL Messenger name was?
Droopy 51389.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. Mine was Miss Shago 87.
Yeah, what was the Shaga? Oh, the clothing
That was Bow
line.
Wow's clothing line.
Wow. That's
And I'm
exact. I'm
so
like, wait,
mad.
what is that?
At one point in life, I think I don't know, my mama threw it out or what, but I had I had shirts from Bow Wow clothing line. I had stuff from his tours that I never even went to. I scraped on my last penny to get a Shago shirt. Now where is it? First of all, I never even liked Shago as a name. I didn't think it was creative enough, but it got the
Yeah,
job done.
but
How do
you
you
had to
feel
support
about
your man.
celebrity brand lines?
Depends on the person because going back to what I said at the beginning of the episode, I work for Halsey. I think her
Hmm.
makeup is lit. I think her
Has it
makeup is
been around
lit as
for a
hell.
while?
Yeah, but it's not as big as it should be, in my opinion. But also, a lot of people don't wear color. It's geared to more. It's geared towards like more creative kind of makeup because she has so many damn colors of everything, like eye paints and all type of stuff. But I love that brand.
She come
Also,
with the
Lady
super
Gaga.
scent neck.
Lady Gaga. Her brand is really good. Obviously Rihanna. It depends on the person. I am very biased when it comes to stuff like that because I enjoy um, luxury kind of makeup. I like my makeup to look a certain way, especially if I'm gonna keep it in the packaging. Um, so I don't know. I'm very biased. I have like when if it's like it depends on the type of artist it is or the type of person that put it out. If it look cheap or it give me like a I'm just selling this just because I'm not buying that shit. Like Kylie, I can't really get into Kylie cosmetics, but Kim, I love it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about now I don't really I mean I bought Skims and I bought Yeezy, but I would say Yeezy is a little different cuz it was a collaboration with Adidas because I support Adidas as a brand. But who is it? Taraji has her hair care line, and
I
I think
have it.
Lala has is it a skincare? I don't know, but I just feel like and John Legend has a skincare line, and not saying that these products aren't good, but I just feel like it's like a lot of these types of businesses are like the go to. It seems makeup, skincare, hair product, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like now. J- j- I can't even talk. What's Diana Ross' daughter name?
Tracy Ellis
Tracy
Ross.
Ellis Ross. She has always been known for her beautiful curly hair, so I can see how it would make sense for her to have like her own hair care line. But I also feel like I don't know. This is what I think. people that always their hair always look good, they might make videos of how they do their hair. Just look like it has become part of their brand, unrelated to a brand of their own. I think that's a natural transition into creating those kind of products. Someone who does an artist that does their own makeup or something like that, or an artist who
Halsey.
always pushes the edge, pushes the envelope creatively for their look. It would make sense for them to get into that. But when these people come out of nowhere with these brands that doesn't seem like it aligns with how we know them, it's hard for me to even
Like
want to
like
buy it
Lori
because
Harvey. Lori Harvey has a skincare line, and I'm like, why? No shade to
really,
her.
see, yeah, and it's nothing like, again, it's not even bad that they have these products, but I'm not sold on it because number one, you probably was not use you probably wouldn't even use still ain't using your own I don't know, I'm just not convinced, that's all. But I also am an informed
I feel
buyer. A
you.
lot of times people are blind loyalists, so they'll buy this stuff
Yeah.
because it's their favorite person. But is that sustainable? You know what I'm saying? I'll try your hair care line, Taraji, or whatever skincare, whatever she has, but I'm
It's
loyal to
hair care.
Maya Organics. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I'll
Yeah.
try it out, but 10 times out of 10 I'm not gonna like it better because I spent so many years trying to find the right hair care products that I finally found it in this brand. And it's a strong possibility that yours is not going to reach my needs. And maybe I'm not her target audience because we don't have the same kind of hair. Who cares? But I'm just saying, there's just so much that goes into this. And then now, let's say you decide you realize it's not doing well. And now I got to find something again. So I just rather stick to,
Yeah.
what I know works for me. That's all. Now Fenty a little
Um,
different. Rihanna she has tried her hand in everything. Now I did think that Savage Fenty and all that was a little off brand, but I think because she kicked off the makeup, she really reinvented the red lips. Stuff like that makes sense. And Rihanna is such a boss in every aspect of her career. I'm way more sold on that idea than and the way she rolled it out. She didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like boom, she just killing it. And she's become a billionaire. I don't know. I'm just saying, and maybe I'm not tuned in enough with some of these other folks to be sold on their ideas, but I just don't.
it's just, and that's the thing about it. I feel like when you have those type of things, also what plays a big part in selling your product is engaging with your audience. I feel like to Tracy Ellis Ross is one of those people who's very like engaging with her audience. I feel the
Mm-hmm.
same way
She's
about like
very
Kim
personal.
Kardashian. Yeah, like Kim Kardashian, I feel like she's like that. I feel, but Kylie isn't. We don't know shit about Kylie. Kim at least try to fake it, and she get online like, "Oh, here's me with my kids and doing this and blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm.
Places us in her life, and we know what type of furniture she likes, blah blah blah. So of course, if she starts to sell that type of stuff, because now she sells like furniture and pieces to put in your home that she has in her home, that makes sense. Because it's
Yeah.
like, damn, I do like her house, how her house set up. She show it on everything, so this is really how her house looks, and she's selling this stuff. I kind of want my house to look expensive like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
those products like that are like social media like things. Like you have to be a person to sell it. That's another reason why I haven't did a makeup line, because although I do show my personality online, I don't engage with my audience that much because I don't even know what to say or do half of the time. I don't go live. I don't do like tutorial videos. I don't do nothing. So I would rather me start something like a YouTube or something and people get to know me so the products make sense. So it line up with what I got. Just because
You
I'm a
know what's
makeup artist, I
crazy?
don't need to have a makeup line.
Yeah, I agree. And especially if you're not about to be using your product exclusively on all your clients. Like you gotta be ready to die on
Exactly.
that hill.
Hmm.
But you know what,
Exactly.
and I'm sure you thought about this, but like my neighbor, she's not famous, she's not an influencer, but she just started going live on TikTok for no good reason. And she be getting paid. Strangers be sending money. I think if you
Yeah.
went live while because I literally learned how to retwist locks off this random lady's TikTok who be going live. Because TikTok will suggest a live to somebody you don't even follow. And so I
Yeah.
learned how to retwist locks off this rant. So all I'm thinking is like, oh, if you started going live while you did makeup, that might be cool, a cool little way to but you obviously do what you want. But it just hit me that
Yeah.
like, dang, that could be a good little
Yeah. But you know
So
what's so
are you?
crazy? It's funny that you use Taraji as an example because I actually just bought her stuff maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. I ran out of shampoo and conditioner, so I was in Target and I saw it and I'm like, oh, it's not even expensive. It's like $6 for the bottle.
Okay,
So I was, let me just
okay.
try it out. So I tried it. It's really good though. I don't. The only thing I don't like is the smell. The problem that I have with hair products is always the scent. I feel like I haven't tried my products, but I feel like
10 out of 10.
um what's the other brand who has like is it Miss Jessie's? There we go. I feel like Miss Jessie's got the hair products down packed where like why does your hair smell like laundry sheets? It just
Mm,
smells so fresh and good. Like all they scents of their stuff, it smells good. Any other kind of hair product and stuff be smelling like Jerry curl juice to me. Like that,
yeah.
like
My hair don't.
and
10 out
that
of
just
10.
reminds me of like cigarettes. I feel like Taraji's shampoo smells kind of like Jerry curl juice. Like I got a Jerry curl with, and I'm smoking Newport's playing spades. That's what it gives me. That,
Mm.
and I hate that
Okay.
smell.
That would
I
actually
hate
make me
that
not want
smell.
to buy a product. When I use my Yale Organics, my hair still smell like that days later. Not even joking. Like literally, it
Yeah,
smells like the product. It's crazy.
I use hair perfume on my locks. Like I wash my hair, and I do like the way that my deep conditioner spray smells. But I actually bought hair perfume from Saks. I bought it. I put it in my
I
beard
just
and my
recently
hair.
started hearing people talking about hair perfume. I guess that don't. I mean, I guess if you got braids or something, some like some hair that's gonna be staying in place for a while, I can see that making sense. But
Like if you
so
say for, I think it's good for people who, because I remember for a long time, people had like a problem with the smell of weave. Remember the weave used to smell like corn chips back in the
yeah,
day.
corn chip. True
So
glory.
like I think that has something to do with it. And of course, people be using dirty ass flat irons and their hair be stank, so they be having to like blah blah blah
A lot of
spray it
times they hair
on.
stink because they ain't washed it.
Yeah.
They own hair.
But I
Be
just,
smell like
you
mold.
know, I can't wash my locks every day because they'll get dried out and stiff. So, you know, I'll put my little deep conditioner in there, spray my hair perfume, spray it on my beard, and just go over my day. Hmm.
So back to the original topic. Your goal? No, that wasn't. I just want to. I had one to ask this earlier. We end up drifting off. So you want to start a makeup line, or are you just saying that's something that you would have done?
So, I obviously want to do that. However, I do understand the market that we're in is so oversaturated, and I do have my own audience. But the thing is, I still want to do something that I
It's
genuinely believe
unique.
in. I did
Yeah.
the lash line, and that did make sense for me. But I feel like because I didn't know the knowledge that I know now, I feel like it could have been more successful. And so
What
I would
knowledge do you
want to
have
come
now?
out.
Like from the styles or something?
Um, just about like getting people on my team, like managers and you know, how to get PR stuff sent out and marketing things and you know, LLCs and business grants and all type of stuff like that. I know this stuff now. So I'm like, okay, if I do this, it has to really be something that I fuck with. And it has to be
Mm-hmm.
something that I use all the time. Like it needs to always be in my kit. I need to be using it on everybody. It needs to be something that represents me. Like I
Yeah,
get
because that's
tired
the
of
only
seeing
way
like,
you're gonna really push it because you care about it. That's why I love
yeah,
real estate. Real estate is my best entrepreneurial decision ever because I can do that junk with my eyes closed. It's like I'm genuinely passionate about it. But
yeah.
I wouldn't I don't know if I would ever hire a team. I mean, I would hire property managers, but I wouldn't have a product to serve to people. I guess
Like
besides
even now, like since I've been getting more into like healthy stuff, I was like gonna venture out and maybe do like workout clothes. I feel like I have a hard time finding workout clothes with my body type because I'm like 6'1". I'm like a football player. Now some stuff fits me, okay, but I do have to alter a lot of my gym clothes. Like the gym shorts to me will be too long or the shirt will be like too short. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe I can start something like that. I don't know.
yeah, I can see that, especially if you do it exclusively for men. It's very niche. You're addressing a problem that you have, and now I'm sure there's other people that obviously would be experiencing the same thing. They like, finally, man, I ain't got to put on some yitty.
Uh, See, that's what I'm saying. That works for her because she has an audience for that. There's an
Yeah,
audience for
yeah.
that.
I think
You just have to.
I go right ahead, King.
No, I was just saying. Like, I just feel like I haven't figured out 100% what my little product would be. So until then,
I have contemplated digital products, so around like financial planning, life planning, and stuff like that. But I want my junk. I need what I'm not against doing it because my whole persona, especially online, is about. I'm always sharing like life hacks, I guess you could say. But I've thought about
Yeah.
financial planners with like built-in calculators, so people can properly like budget and stuff like that. So they can just punch in some numbers. And I tried to write the formulas myself, but it got very tedious, and I just kind of put the pencil down and kept it pushing. But I have thought about that, and I always love the idea of a digital product because there's essentially no overhead, so everything that you
Mm.
make off of it is pure profit. People have made like planners for their iPad. I'm not really a planner user type of girl, so I wouldn't really push that. That would be like an add-on product once the financial planner started to work. But people are always asking me to, and it's very flattering when they ask me to like, they're like, "Girl, you need a class on like financial, like wealth management," and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't like, why I wouldn't do that. Number one, I don't
It's
like selling people on a service because I want everybody to have the same amount of success. Number two, people irritate me because they lazy and they don't push themselves, and you be giving advice to a brick wall. And number three, my competition would be a bunch of people that's not even honest about their businesses. So I don't want to compete with that. I rather just do word of mouth like I always do, give people advice when I feel like it and keep it pushing. But
yeah.
I have definitely thought about it like a digital planner for that aspect. I've thought about I mean, y'all know I had a resume. I mean, I still do have a resume service. I just don't advertise it because I don't like doing it no more. Because again, people really are, a lot of people don't have the same level of eagerness that I wish they would have. So you can give them the best advice in the world and it's not going to work for them, and you start to think you might have given them the wrong advice, but it just went on the wrong ears. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel. I feel like that about why that's why I don't have an assistant because I feel like when I first started doing makeup professionally, I genuinely was like reaching out to people because I genuinely wanted to learn. Not even because I wanted to be like them, not because I wanted to steal their clients or whatever. I genuinely wanted to learn what what is it like just about the business, how to get into it, what can I do to fine tune my look with how the way I do makeup. What can I do to make the makeup look better on TV or photo shoots? How can I get it to last long? Why my blush don't come on like that? You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I feel like that eagerness in this field has just gone because when I started doing makeup, it wasn't a lot of people doing makeup at that time. Like it was, but it wasn't. Like you didn't. People didn't really
Yeah, you
know
can see, you can
personal
find an
makeup
MUA
artists.
real quick now. Yeah, that was like
Yeah, like you didn't.
a luxury service.
Yes, like people didn't know like actual makeup artists. They'll know somebody that work at Mac or like a makeup stand or like Sierra. Remember Sierra used to be known at a salon or something.
Hmm.
But like now people are like major makeup artists and they see that and they see the success that comes with it. They see the perks. We get, I travel to so many different places. I be around certain people and they see that and that's what they want. And even though that stuff is cool, I love it. I really do enjoy it. That ain't what's gonna pay the bills. Cause you get around these people, y'all be groupies and da da da. Y'all don't be focused on y'all work. So I don't even be knowing how to trust people. Cause it's like if I need you to be my assistant, I need you to be my assistant on a certain project or blah blah blah. You gonna come over there taking pictures.
I was just
Uh
about to say that they gotta like a lot of people. This girl who I buy wigs from, she had a hard time getting an assistant because people would basically try to get the job to learn what she do and then start their own company. And there's nothing wrong with starting your own company, but I also am hiring you for a job. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of messed up. It's one
yes.
way. It's like it would be smarter to play the long game. Like allow me to really show you the ropes, build a relationship, and then I could put you on. But we still have a job to do. So now you trying to be my competition, or you trying to be more than my competition because you're gonna try to take what I taught you and flip it and act like I never even existed.
Mm. See what I'm
People are,
saying?
but you know what though? It's just that world we live in. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But I was just having a conversation with my friend recently. Like, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur because they think that's where the money at, but they don't even have a lot of the other stuff that it takes to run a great business to get to the point where the money is. And in reality, people that have their own business work way more hours. And yes, you have more. Like, whenever I had that conversation from influencers or people with money saying like, I don't want a guy that works a 9 to 5, da da da, because I want to be able to up and go. But entrepreneurs can't always up and go. They
No,
schedule be the worst.
and see the crazy thing about it is not necessarily a 9 to 5, but I express this to people all the time. Like I used to say like, oh, I want somebody that work in the same field with me or does the same kind of thing as me because they'll understand my life and blah blah blah. But I think honestly that I would rather date like just a regular guy. Like you went to college and you have a career in what computer
Data.
science or something.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like
yeah.
something like I would rather that. I would rather that to
Listen, it's
balance
a
me out.
very disciplined lifestyle. It's ever growing. It pays the bills. You get insurance. You can make a lot of money. It's people making. I know people think 100,000. They think six figures, but I know people making $500,000 a year. I swear to God, on
Yeah,
everything I
like
love.
people always, and I get this perception all the time. I try not to come off as like attention seeking or pretentious or like I'm just trying to be a part of these things. And
Mm-hmm.
like I've had a few people to say that about me, like, "Oh, you be in a spot, da 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 da." You just trying to basically say like I'm doing this for attention and to be seen instead of
Mm.
whatever. And that's so
Yeah.
lame because no, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, the fuck I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate that. I don't even want to come off like that. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody be claiming they different, but I really do think that I'm like different from most.
Oh, I know I am. I know I'm recording right now with no wig on my head. How different am I? No, I know what you mean. I know but that's why I have learned over the years of life, like some stuff you just kind of gotta just let life be what it is. You ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. You don't gotta share your
Yeah.
plans, your accomplishments. Let me tell you something. Let me just say this for real, for it. I made a little tweet about this only because it really pissed me off. Now, y'all know I love to say how I don't like to brag, but sometimes when I share my good news, people make me feel like I'm bragging. But in reality, I'm just
Oh
telling
yeah.
the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm
I
just
don't
saying
never feel
like
like
if
you bragging,
I
but
don't I'm not a bragger. I've been dead
I
broke. I
also
spent more. Go ahead.
no, I also don't get offended by it just because I know where you came from.
You
So
get
I
I
know that this
spent
is
more time
genuinely,
being
it's just
dead
genuinely
broke
appreciative
than
of it.
having money. Yes, but the
Yeah.
problem is if I say like, okay, y'all, at this point, y'all, I have bought a new house every year, pretty much. But if I say, oh, I'm buying another house this year, people think I'm flexing. And I swear to God, I'm not. I put it on everything I love. I'm
No.
literally buying a new house because I want more space. Like that's what it comes
It's
down to.
like, girl, just get motivated. Because with
I
me,
have
like,
shared yes,
I
be
don't
like
even
think
want to
about
buy one.
hello. So I have sent a couple of people my house, my property listing that I'm buying, and the first thing they're saying is like, "How can you afford that? Or how are you gonna have
Yeah,
money left over?" I need people to know this. When you get approved for a mortgage, you literally get approved for the amount that you can afford, and that guideline is very strict. Like you can't just
yeah.
get a house because you want it. I'm just telling y'all that now. They count every debt you have, every job, every piece of income. They comb it through and there's a percentage that you're allowed to go to buy that home. So all I'm saying is mind a business that pays you because mine is buying me a new house. So, and I know that my house is quote unquote expensive, but
Oh my god.
I have income that comes from places that's not my job, legal stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it just is annoying because I'm like, dang, why you count my pockets? Like, do you, yeah, so obviously you think the house is nice, great. And it's not even that nice, truth be told. It's very basic. It's just crazy. But I'm like, dang, man, I don't even feel right sharing those details because now you count my pocket. That annoys me. I don't like that. Then they're like, oh, why it don't have this? Okay. Let me know when your leasing
Yeah.
office open up. And that's no shade.
Oh,
But
you know what? You say so too
people
far.
that people just start counting your pockets if you bring up stuff they think you bring. They be like, oh, here you go flexing. I'm not flexing.
No,
I do
no.
close next week. What I'm supposed to do? And it's not like I talk about it all day like it's my personality. It's just I think that sometimes people deflect based off their situation. They don't believe that you have the capacity to do it because they don't see themselves doing it because they're saying like, dang, I can't afford this. So how in the world she can afford that? And I'm not rich. I literally buy homes, sell them, make a lot of money, buy another one, sell it, repeat, repeat, repeat. And so I use all that money that I made from my 9 to 5 that allowed me to buy a house to buy another one. I'm not doing nothing special, but I think
People,
that
you can tell people ain't never played Monopoly before.
and I hate Monopoly. It don't never end. But
I
it is a little
love
discouraging. I can't lie. So it's like I'm just gonna keep myself to myself because I'm like, don't
Monopoly.
start pointing out how much land that it is. It's like, dang.
Yeah, no.
Not you got
People,
white
yeah,
appliances talking about mines.
A white refrigerator. Put
Yeah,
your
and mind you,
shoes on. Let's go find you a
I
home.
never it never gave white appliances. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. People just, just because some like it's not bragging just because you can't. And now people do brag. Don't get me wrong. We know this. But people feel insecure sometimes when you mention certain things that they don't have the access to. So now they count in your pockets, wonder how you can afford it. Then they start trying to get something for themselves from you. Now we know we
Yeah.
don't do that.
Mm. Not giving nobody
Yeah,
none for
child.
free.
So
Child, I just
anyway,
don't need.
hello somebody. But anyway,
Oh
yeah,
my
that's all I
God.
got. I hope y'all like this
What?
episode.
So what you got coming
Pray
up? Because I have too much coming up.
Man, so I'm working on this really, really big project at work, y'all, and it's really hard because I'm still kind of new to what I'm doing, and I have made my share of mistakes. Other people have made their share of mistakes, but those mistakes have fallen on me, and they are making me feel not secure in my job because I don't want like if something goes wrong, I don't want it to be because I lacked in something. And so
Yeah.
it's really what I do is really hard. Really hard. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know how else to explain it. But I'm doing a lot of stuff for the first time and there's a lot of visibility. I mean, up into the CEO of this Fortune 30 company. And so it's
Mm.
just been very hard. I've been working literally 7 to 11 every day, 7 a.m., 11 p.m., and sometimes later. And it's gonna be even later today because I got some
I
analysis to
was
run.
wondering why you be up at certain times and be texting me. I'm like, this girl usually be
I
knocked
be
out.
up working sun up to sun up, and it sucks because I don't have a work life balance right now. And I've never had this problem. I've definitely worked long days at work, but pretty much since I started this job, I've been working these long days, and it's annoying because I work those long hours, still don't even be done, and then I'm getting follow ups on other stuff, and I'm like, how do y'all think is a human can handle this? So I'm feeling a little like imposterish in this job. It's getting better, but there's a lot of things that have happened that have went wrong and not at my fault. And even if it's my fault, I don't have a problem owning up to it. But because of the type of work I do, the pressure is on to fix it. And so I'm just like, it's really hard.
Mm.
That's all I can really say. The project goes live in a few weeks, and I just hope that it's smooth before then so I can just have a peace of mind. Because I don't like feeling like I could be losing my job because of this big old project.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well,
Now, lose one job, get another one. Let's be very clear. But I'm just saying, I don't want to have to go through them kind of changes. I like to be voluntarily choosing to make those moves. But yeah, but that's all. My job is really taking up my life. I've been packing, getting ready to move. It's funny because I only feel comfortable talking about moving on a podcast because I feel like ain't nobody listening. But don't try to tell nobody.
oh my
Look, he got
God.
all my stuff right over. You see them little bags? I got bags over there, shoe racks. So my plan is to move all my boxes and bags first, get all that little stuff out, and then just have the movers come and move my furniture. So, because I feel like when you move, you start scrambling through different boxes trying to find stuff, and I don't want to go through that
And
just
people be
because.
stealing.
Well, if they
I've
only moving
had
my furniture,
I've
what they
had
gonna
movers
steal?
like steal my stuff. Like when I moved from Sandy Springs to Marietta, I paid a mover and they stole like personal stuff. I ain't,
Where did
I'm
they
like,
put it?
why
You
would you
didn't. You
steal
didn't.
that?
Were you not there when they was packing your
So
stuff?
the moving company that I chose, right? They were saying that you don't have to take your clothes out of the dresser. We'll just wrap it up and we'll
Oh
carry it like
yeah.
that. So I
The
was like, oh,
company I'm working
perfect.
with offer that, but I don't like nobody touching my stuff.
Yeah, I would.
That's
I would never
I've
do that
heard of that
again.
before. So I'm moving my own boxes and bags. That's what I was saying. I'm moving that myself, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
have movers move my furniture. Now they did offer to pack my stuff, but I'm not okay with that. I like to know where my stuff is. I don't want
Yeah,
nobody's
no.
hands,
No,
knuckles,
no,
and
I didn't let
fingernails
them
touching.
pack it, but like my dressers, they just wrapped it like with this saran wrap looking thing and put it on the truck.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
that's
then when I got to
crazy.
the apartment, they dropped it, they opened it, and it was all set up.
I do
Couch
like
was
that
like that,
idea though.
everything. Yeah, like I didn't have to do nothing. So the only
Yeah.
thing that I brought was like my shoes. I put my shoes in my car and my anything that was on hangers, I left it on hangers and just laid in the back seat.
Yeah.
So when I got there, hung it up, and it was on there.
And that's why I'm glad I got an SUV now, because that stuff getting loaded up, weighted
I
up.
forgot that you got a truck. Wow. Wow. I
Yeah,
rode
big
in it.
stepper. Big wheel. You did? Big wheel. I ain't never going back to a sedan. I can't believe I ain't never going home. I love it outside. Yeah, I
I
love
want
having
a
an
truck, but I want
SUV.
a Jeep, and a Jeep is a car on the inside. It ain't that
Right.
big.
That trunk
So,
ain't here no nan. It's nan times nan. But yeah, I want an even bigger car now. Well, when I get my Porsche truck, it's gonna give open the trunk, pop the trunk, let the windows out. I don't know what I'm
oh
saying.
my God. Oh God.
But yeah, so that's what's going on. I need to go on
Help
some
me
kind of
find something for
international
my birthday. What I'm doing for my birthday?
I don't know. Come to Atlanta. Okay, maybe not.
Something
Let's go to
else.
South Korea. I'm trying to wait for Janae if she listen to have this wedding day picked out. Then I'm gonna book my trip because I ain't going twice now. That's a long
Oh, me
flight.
too. Actually, I'm gonna go too. Invite me to the
Come
wedding too,
on.
Janae. I'm
No,
coming.
okay. Now you're gonna be like that girl on TikTok. You got you.
You
You
ain't
gonna
gonna
get
let me
invited
come
to
to the
the
reception.
country, but not to the ceremony.
I'm coming. Is she gonna have it in Korea though, for real?
Yeah, she is. Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I'll go. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. I'm
We probably
going
had to
to.
get a
I just ain't
hotel
going
down.
twice. So I don't
Yeah.
like. Vegas the first place I flew to twice. I don't like that. I don't. I'd rather
Yeah,
spend my
but
money
you
on
know what's
something
so
else.
crazy? I went to Tulum twice, and normally I don't do stuff like that. And I really didn't have fun the second
Wait, I
time
went to
because I
LA
did
twice
everything
too.
the first time. I'm like, I don't want to do this again. I already did.
Yeah, it's nothing exciting. That's how I felt in Vegas. Cause I'm
But
like, man, I should have just waited for Usher to come to Atlanta. But I'm glad I went. I'm just saying, like, did I really have to go to Vegas
yeah,
to see him?
yeah. I finally won money on the slot machine. I won $271
I ain't even try to
off of
play.
$60.
I got my
I took
Starbucks
out
membership.
$60. I took out $60 and I put it in the machine and I was
My
playing the
neighbor
little
put
$1
$20
machine.
on the scratch off and won like 350. She said she do it once a
Period.
month. Hmm.
Period. That was my mama. She love that. Get her a jumbo
Well,
buck.
when I try, I don't win nothing. It'd be like a thanks for your donation. So anyway, all right, let's wrap
Man,
this thing up. What you got going on? My bad.
I'm just trying to find something to do for my birthday, and honestly, working. I ain't really doing nothing. Working and hanging out. It's just starting to
You
get hot
taking
for real
off?
out here. So, for my birthday, I don't know. So my idea right now is because I did say that once I get like fully settled in this apartment, I wanted to start having like people over.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just been so on the edge about it because I'm like, damn, I really want to start doing that, but also I'm just like, oh, do I really want to do that? Like, I don't know. So for my birthday, I think that I was gonna have a Cinco de Mayo birthday party. I was gonna get a whole bunch of tacos. I was gonna get a sombrero, have like kind of like game
My
night, but I was
housewarming
gonna
gonna
have
be a taco party.
yeah, like I was gonna have like a whole bunch of like I was gonna put a pinata in here, a whole bunch of little Mexican little decorations. I was gonna make it look like I guess Taco Tuesday. But then my birthday is not on the 5th. My birthday is on the 13th. So what am I going to do on my actual
So
birthday? I need a
you can
dinner.
okay, but so you don't want to have it that early. You can call it Cinco
No,
de Draco.
there we go.
Oh, but you're not turning five nothing. Okay, well,
Yeah, I'm turning 34.
what? Have you thought about going to Hawaii?
I have.
Okay, I heard that ride
Um,
is bumpy.
yeah, I was supposed to be going to um, Brazil.
Oh
However,
wow.
because it's I have three other friends whose birthday is the same week as mine. So we all try
Hmm.
to celebrate together. And I was the person who chose the last trip. We went to the DR. So this time we
Me
were
too.
supposed to go to Brazil. Oh, you went? No, you didn't go to DR. You came to
I
Costa
paid for a
Rica.
room in DR.
You
Well,
did
in
pay for the room though. I f with
hmm
you because motherfuckers was pulling out that trip the day of,
That's
the night
crazy. I
before
would.
the plane finna leave.
That's crazy. I could never do that because ain't nobody finna play with me
Anywho,
like that.
but no. So I was trying to find a flight from here to Brazil, and the part of Brazil they going to or whatever, Rio. Child, the quickest flight with all the layovers is like 32 hours.
Oh no, ma'am. Oh, it's because of where you coming from. Rio will
Yeah.
forever make me think of I still know what you did last summer.
It made me think of
Remember
the
he was like,
Pharrell
"What's the
fronting video.
uh,
When he
when
was
on?"
sitting
He
on
was
the
like,
stairs.
What's the capital of Rio?" And she was capital of Brazil. She was like Rio or something like that. I don't know. You know, I'm talking about Brandy had
Yeah.
guessed she had won at radio. I don't know. I'm talking.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
old.
I remember. Um, but yeah, so I'm not doing that. I'm not getting on nobody's plane for 34 hours.
Yeah,
And then
that's
they was like,
crazy.
fly to Miami and catch a flight from there. I tried to find a
That's
flight
still
from
a lot.
Miami. Man, it's 6 hours from here to Miami. And then the fucking flight from Miami was like 40 hours. Who the
Oh
fuck
my
finna do that?
god. What? Yeah, maybe I didn't even know people be going to Rio. I
Because
thought they'd be going
Brazil
to Sao
doesn't have
Paulo.
like direct flights, so and they don't have flights every day, so you have to kind of like
Yeah, we
maneuver
don't
your
want
way
that. They
around
having some
America.
issues with their police anyway. We don't want no
Yeah,
parts.
I ain't trip. I ain't going.
Go to
I already said I ain't
come
going.
with me to Minnesota.
What the hell is there?
My job.
Mo- a moose? What should like? Don't
They
they have
got the
like
Great
moose?
Lakes, Lake Minnetonka. That's not a Great Lake, but
Child, Lake Lanier is all I need to see. Just know that I
I
don't
said
belong by
Great Lakes.
nobody
Forgive
lake.
me, y'all. All right, well,
Um,
have fun on your birthday with your
I want to
domestic
go to
trip.
like I want to do something. Cabo is very cheap. They have like $78
You
flights.
ain't tired of Mexico?
I haven't been to Cabo. That's not the same part as Mexico.
I
That's
know,
different.
but well, good
That's
luck. Go on a
real different.
cruise.
Now that I'm not doing. I ain't been on a cruise since your cruise.
I like
Or
cruise. I ain't
have
gonna
I?
lie. I won't do Carnival again, but
We
anyways, all
actually
right,
had
let's
fun
wrap
though.
this thing
Don't
up.
act like that. Now we actually really had a lot of fun on Carnival Cruise. The only
And it
thing that
was
we probably
let's not act like our room went cheap and the cruise. Now, you get a little older, you start comparing that we was on the Applebee's ship. Okay, I want to be, I
that's
want to
what
be
I
on
was
the
about to
pop
say. I
up
was about to say
shop.
we probably would need better food because I don't eat a lot of that stuff no more. So
Yeah, I want to do like a Royal
I don't know.
Caribbean type of Carnival. Ain't terrible, but there is a difference, especially as you mature in life and you start to look at different options. You be like, oh, okay.
Mm, that's very true.
So anyway, all right,
Mm,
holla at your girl.
I ain't even got all that. I just got holla at your bitches
Okay,
and twirls.
all right, goodbye.
Bye.